I wanted to speak to you about one of the most important things that you could know in any post disaster setting. Um, I don't know if any of you have ever been in a disaster or ever supported people in a disaster, but one of the most important things is to be self reliant yourself. And so that's something we can do everywhere in every single city in the world ahead of time is get our own 72-hour pack, get our own water storage, get our own extra tanks of gas, get our own birthing kit in our car and in our home, extra birthing kit, even if we don't have anybody childbearing in our own family. That is something that you can do. And also have a family cloth kit available because that's something that can kind of goes in hand with the birth kit. Because then you've got the pads for after, you've got the newborn diapers, you've got all the things you're going to need if and when, in most cases it's when, the disposable stuff runs out. I mean, we're sending all disposable right now to Houston, but it's a circumstance where they'll likely have so much support from around them that they'll be able to build and get things back on track again. But if they were in a situation like in some of these countries in Africa or Philippines, Indonesia, where they're in very low socioeconomic environments and communities, they do not have all their needs being met very readily in those societies there. And so there isn't like just the influx of all these disposable products that cost money and don't dispose of well and create problems in the environment and even problems in the health of the community because of disposal issues and stuff. So ultimately in these countries, or here, when it gets to that point, which I have absolute assurance it will, because that's why I'm doing this. I've been shown what's coming. And it's my own private, personal experience. I haven't shared that yet with everybody, but it's why I do this full time instead of other things. And I'm still recovering from my accident that I had where I sustained an injury. But this is what I just have so much passion to do this. And I know it's because it's needed and it's a requirement. It's something that we have to do if we really want to. If we want to avoid some of the struggle and pain that's coming for a lot of us, this is a simple thing we can do. And not only that, not just us. I think primarily we can do this to serve our fellow men, our fellow women, womankind. And that's what this YouTube channel is really about. It's about all womankind, every single solitary human woman, and the dignity that is inherently hers as a woman to birth her child in a healthy, whole way, surrounded by competent, respectful people. I mean, honestly, birth kind of does its own thing. You don't really need to do anything if you stay out of it. And really, I was going to talk about the cord management in this, but I almost feel like I'll save that for another one because really it's your attitude that's everything. You know, because when you go into that environment, if you bring fear, if you bring anxiety, if you bring stories, a bunch of old, maybe sensationalistic stories that you've heard on whatever you've been watching or people have been telling you, you bring all that fear in there. So you're actually contributing to the creation of that birth by your attitude. I think that the key to this is that in order to have better outcomes in the next few years as we go through these severe calamities, it'll take about 7 years, I think, to get through it, or maybe a bit more. But one of the things we can do is just, whoever we are, just get in touch with your own whatever you believe, God, the universe, the earth, whatever you believe is your God. Get in touch with yourself, the earth, God, the universe, and start listening to the voice of Spirit, because the Spirit will whisper to you what you should do. So anyway, my advice is that we should be prepared to help others. So in order to help others, we need to be self-reliant ourselves. So let's think ahead. Let's not wait till there's a warning or an evacuation alert to get ourselves organized. Get your papers in a box. Get organized so that you're not like having a big crisis and having a bunch of other people to have to help you. If there is a crisis in your area, you're more self-sufficient and prepared. And then watch more of these films. I always put little excerpts from some of my classes in, so there's a bunch of those films. Those are free on here, which is great. You don't have to pay anything. And lots to learn in there, but for student midwives, for nurses who want to do field birth, for anyone, any person who feels drawn to this work. And it doesn't matter if you have training, if you were an EMT way back gone, when and gone. It doesn't matter what your background is. If you have a desire to help women and their babies in these days that are coming, where we're going to see Houston is just the tip, the very, very tip of this big iceberg that's coming. And really, there's nothing, it's a glorious thing, it's a great thing. The earth is transitioning. And so we want to just honor the earth, honor ourselves, go in peace, and take that peace with us into every birth we go into. And bring that peace, and that peace will literally permeate right into the woman, right into her baby, and the whole experience will be better for everybody. And you could be like in the middle of Houston in a little room delivering this baby, and you could have the most magical, incredibly spiritual, sort of transcendent experience in that space, because you set that tone by your energy, by your thoughts, by your attitude, by your intentions. So if you have fear about these things that are coming, or if you look at Houston and you think, oh my God, if you've got any of that energy, you want to work on that first before you do anything. Do some mindfulness, prayer, meditation, walking in nature, connecting to the earth, connecting to God. Because when you're really connected, you know this is a peaceful thing. We don't need to have a bunch of stress and anxiety about it. Just peacefully go about doing the things that you're impressed to do to prepare, and then when you're ready, you could have your own, really good backpack. You could have your own extra birthing kits, extra supplies. You could have a family cloth kit. You could take our Errand of Angels course. Okay, I was only going to do 7 minutes. I know I'm over. So take our Errand of Angels course. It's free. It's a partnership program, and you give us hygiene kits, and we come and teach you, and we use local low-resource birth specialists in your community, so you get connected with your own people in your own community that you should know in order to really respond effectively to a childbirth need. And trust me, there's so many circumstances where this can come up. It's not even funny. The hospitals can get overcrowded, there can be epidemics, there can be food shortages, and which cause strikes, and there's all kinds of issues that could occur that could create this for a woman, even if it's not a disaster, even if it's just she just had her baby too fast and she's happens to be in the mall and you're there with your kids. Really practical things here we're talking. So this is a way that you can be a real servant, and I think being a servant is a good place to be. That's what I want to do, is serve all of you. So go to my website, callinthemidwife.com. Check out our other website of our nonprofit, emergencyvillages.com. And we have Facebook pages for both of those too. And let me know what specific things you want to learn in field birth work, and I can make sure I feature those on my upcoming YouTubes. All right. Bless you.